getting to know our body and mind better. Yeah. Because you see, you want to retreat about our body, retreat about our mind. I think also retreat about our attitude, way of doing things. So firstly, we know that Buddha mentioned, mind is a forerunner of all phenomena. Mind is chief. Mind made a day. And if one speaks or acts with an impure mind, then suffering follows. Right? Then number 2, the mentioned mind is a forerunner of all conditioned things, all phenomena. Mind is a chief. Mind made a day. If one speaks or acts with a pure mind, then happiness follows. Right? And even if the idea happiness follow like a shadow that never leaves. So if the mind is pure, but if the mind is impure, then suffering follows. Yeah? And that suffering that follows is as giving the idea that the cart that is being pulled, and it follows the movement of the ox. So training the mind is of utmost importance. Right? So then they come to try to understand what is mind, what is the body. How do you know you have a mind? How do you know? Can feel and conscious. Can feel. Okay. So we give a comparison. Let's say without the text, how do you start to see the mind? Yeah. If you compare a dead person and a living person, there's a difference between these two bodies. One is a dead body, one is a living body. What is the difference? Can I give some idea? Breathing. Dead body breathe out? No. Living body breathe. What else the difference? Huh? Living body thinking. Dead body cannot think. What else? What's that? Move on. Okay, dead body cannot move already. Living body can move. What else the difference? Dead body is cold. Living body. Oh, dead body is cold. Living body is warm. What else? Huh? Dead body cannot feel. Living body can feel. Any more else? Dead body not conscious. Living body conscious. Anything else? Dead body will decay on the earth. Dead body decay on the earth. Dead body decays. Living body still thriving. So, if let's say without the text, can you identify what's the difference between these two? If you are asked, dead body have mind or living body have mind, which one will you think have mind? Why you say so? Speak. Living body can speak. Can speak. So you say the living body got mind. You sure? Not sure. Sure. So living body got mind, dead body got mind, Got. Some of you still not very sure. Can you differentiate dead body got mind or not? Living body got mind, or dead body got mind, or both got mind? Because some people to learn about body and mind, we have to know which is which. So we know that dead body, of course, no mind already. Right? Living body, the mind's there. Right? But how do you identify this mind associating with this living body? When a person die, what happened? What happened? What is the key indication?
No response. No breath.
No breath already. What's stopping? Heart's also stopping, right? No breath, then heart stopping, right? So if you, let's say you logically deduce, what we can see, what we can hear, and to see that a little bit of body and mind. Can you see that? Right? When we say mind, then we also link with our breath. Because when the breath is no more there, then we say this is a dead body there. True or not? And then we think when the mind is there or the breath is there, this is a dead body. Right? If you don't know yet about the mind, but you say potentially yes, you got mind. Correct? Because dead body totally no mind, that's why you say all the what you call the characteristic of a dead body without a mind. Right? So this one with a mind, but what indicates that? The breath. Without the breath, we talk about feeling, no feeling anymore. We talk about perception, no perception anymore. We talk about thinking, no thinking anymore. We talk about consciousness, no consciousness anymore. Isn't it? So, in a simple yet easy to understand, when we talk about the five aggregates, yeah? The five aggregates of playing is the one that causes suffering. Right? So before we touch on that, we say the five aggregates. Yeah. So what are these five aggregates we are talking about that causes suffering? Right? Is first part is form. Right? So form. The other part we call it mind. Yeah. Nama rupa. Nama means the mind. Right? And rupa means the form. So body, this particular body, we say form. In translation in English, you can probably say rupa, right? But the number rupa, actually, deeper meaning of it is more to mentality and materiality. And, right? It is a kind of process in the field. Yeah? So when you say aggregate, it's something like very hard, solid. Right? But before that can be formed, it's actually the field, right? The conditional field that comes together, right? So form, we say, consists of body. So we talk about the five senses, right? What are the five? Your eye, right? Your ear, your nose, your tongue, body. So these are the five senses. Okay? So whereas now Nama means the mind, some says mind and matter. So matter got five, right? eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. And the mind consists in this formula. The mind aggregates consists of four. Yeah? Just how you have mentioned. May I ask you what's the difference between a body with a mind and a body without mind? Yeah, the body. So they say uh, the mind on this aspect is four. One is feeling, right? The aggregate of feeling. The second one is perception. And perception is where you see something, you learn about something, and then that something, idea or concept is registered in your mind. And whenever you think of something, you will pull out this like kind of a strong memory that you refer to understand the world. Right? Perception, then mental formation. Mental formation is when your mind catches something and then they start to speak, they think. Right? So it's also a faculty in the mind, right? Thinking, mental formation. And then the fourth one is called consciousness. And you're conscious about it. Right? So we thought consciousness may be like one, but the Buddha explained there are 6 types of consciousness. And so we also think the consciousness, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, then nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, and body consciousness, and then mind consciousness. So there's 6 types of consciousness. So when we talk about mind and matter or mentality and angelity, we are talking on both the body and the mind. So just now I mentioned body, we have 5. Right? Can you remember? What is the first one? Okay. Body. So on the other side, the Dhamma of 4. What is it? Okay. So 5 aggregates is 1 for the form, 4 for the mind. But 1 for the form have 5. 4 means 4 for the mind. Okay? So basic, you just have to understand. So when you talk about the training on how we develop the mind, we just have to understand how the body also condition the mind, and the mind also condition the body. Right? So mind is the forerunner. Yeah. So mind is the one that the rest to continue the activity and the support, the fuel that makes it run. The Buddha explained very clearly is because of training. Right. So as we understand, if the mind is a forerunner, then of course, if you want to stop any difficulty, any suffering, then you have to net in the mind, right? Because that's a forerunner. They are the chief. They are the mind phenomenon. So if we want to address the issue, we just have to address back to the mind. Right? Then how do we make changes? Yeah, because as we see our mind, sometimes we can recognize, sometimes we don't even recognize our own mind, right? Because sometimes you want to do something, but yet you do another thing. Sometimes you know that this thing is good, right? But yet you don't do. Sometimes you know certain things you do not good, yet you keep doing, right? So you ask yourself, why? Happy, happy, yeah. So you know about habit. So they say, there is, you start with one thought, right? And if you are not mindful about that one thought, means you are ignorant with that one thought, then the thought will become two thoughts. And two thoughts become four thoughts. So you will ripple very fast. And once you catch it, so one thought becomes two thoughts maybe, proliferate become four, 8, 16, very fast, right? By the time you start to know that it becomes a story in your mind already, right? When it becomes a story, then if you left it unchecked, then it becomes a movie, right? Not only a movie, right? Then after that, many movies come out, right? Then after that, you short suddenly becomes the director, right? Direct a movie here, a movie there, and then after that, you realize, hey, what am I doing? I'm supposed to meditate. Keep my mind mindful, right? So this is where we say, thought, it become proliferated very fast because of the habit of proliferation, thinking, your craving, feeding something to your mind. It's just like a food. You like eating that. So as you eat and eat and eat, even more entertaining. And that mindset, if you feed with junk food, this is junk food, they also will consume and proliferate. And when you keep doing that, so the mind pattern is such when you repeat again and again, then it becomes a routine. So that's why when we say everything is a routine building, right? And then it becomes thicker and thicker and thicker. Then finally harder, right? Just like if your trainer, you don't wash always, right? So you will see that from day to day, right? Finally, what will happen? You will see a slimy layer, right? So if you don't wash off, what happens? Then the slimy things become thicker, right? So you don't wash, then it become harder, right? Someone don't wash, no, it harder become blackened. Correct? And so exactly like, so our aggregate is formed like that. Our mentality and materiality. And so when they become thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker, and then they become hardened, right? Then when they become so hard and so difficult to take it away. But if you do every day, right? You see or not? Wisdom path, how they maintain, right? Is constant, consistent, clean. Right? If not, you cannot maintain like this. Right? So same with our mind. So if you want to train the mind, it's not just coming for retreat. It's a practice that you do continuously. The horse retreat provides you a setting for you to reset the mind. What is not good, what is not wholesome, that is where we say, we learn to abandon. Okay? And what is good is mindfulness. If we haven't have, then we must continue to practice that how you are taught the method. So you have to use if last time the thickening is so thick already and you use normal brush, cannot brush, then you have to use other way. Right? So the matter in the Satipatthana is a way of how you purify the mind. Right? So this is one thing that we learn, but having learned, if we don't put it into practice, meaning during this retreat, although you learn, if you see the slimy things keep coming, thickening, then you must use the method to overcome it. Keep applying. Right? So for the mind in its training. That's why we're gonna make it a point here. This training very interesting. I will say, training the mind is not just sitting down and meditate, which the Western adopt this method a lot, but it actually goes beyond just sitting and meditating. Yeah. It requires the other qualities of the mind to be developed. Right? For example, we highlighted about having that kind of a generous heart, which helps the mind to have gladness, and also having Dhamma principle in practice, so we do not have regret in our heart. Right? And then when we talk about bhavana, mental cultivation, then this is where we use different ways and methods to develop the qualities of the mind. Right? So in cultivating the mind, therefore the prerequisite must be there. And if not, we can go for a retreat or you can sort of meditate, but it does not transform the mind. Right? You take it like a method or a technique, right? But it is not transforming the mind because you may not do it correctly or properly or consistently. Right? So mental cultivation, the purity of which I say. So what we are talking about purity, right? Basically, whatever we do, it will come to only three main causes, condition. So one is your defilement, and this defilement is none other than ignorant and ignorant. So ignorant about what? What are we ignorant of? Right? We say ignorant of the truth. Right? So what is this form of the truth? Because nowadays we have tons of information. How can we be ignorant? Isn't it? But still ignorant happen. And so because even though we may suffer a little bit, and as you all also experience, as we grow older, then we start to see more suffering like it. You experience that? Body becomes stiff, leg becomes stiff, pain here, pain there, right? Then cannot sustain wakefulness, right? And so, although we experience it, but we don't see it as ignorant, right, about suffering. Right? So we are ignorant because we do not understand the form of the truth. Right? Why is it important to know that? Because without knowing that, that's why we won't take it too hard. Because we think we're still okay. Right? So I would like to highlight to the world, it's so important for us to know that as we are at this age or some we are still quite young. So these are the cause and also hindrances to our practices because we still have some pride in ourselves. Okay? The pride of what? The pride of youth. Although you're at this age, I but think, or maybe some of you will think, I'm still okay, Although at this age, we still feel young. Do you feel something like that? You think you're still young? Although you know you are old, but you still want to think you are young. Is that it? So this is what I say, we have this kind of pride of the youth. Although you are no more young, but you still have that pride. Right? But one more, those who are young ones, their pride is even more. Right? So when you have pride of youth, the tendency is you think that, I'm still okay. Right? Okay, in the sense that, I still can eat, I still can walk, I still can do a lot of things. Right? Go for holiday and do a lot of things, yeah. But you will never think that, with the energy that you have now, with the ability that you have now, you should do really something very important in life. Right? So don't miss that chance. Right? Second is pride of health. When we see healthy, we think we'll never get sick. Someone else will get sick, but not us. Right? So when you have that pride, then you won't really take care of your body. You will still love to eat what you like to eat. That costs harm to the body sometimes. Right? And also, when you have pride of health, you may not think that it's really a genuine idea to do something about your life. Right? So the third one is pride of life. Right? Pride of life. When we're still alive, we think we will die. Right? So therefore, we don't have really urgency to wish to cultivate to transform the mind into a very good state. Yeah, very peaceful, free state. So pride of life, yeah, as when we are alive. For your information, in the past when I was working here, my colleague, she was only 45 and 45. And then what happened is she very scared of that one. And always she said, because I'm the branch manager, she's one of my Shazam. She always tell me, I wish if one day I want to die, I don't have to suffer. I can die quickly, without pain, without suffering. That's a wish, right? So, I remember is that because she's more from the Taoist, she don't know much about Buddhism. And one day, actually, I brought her to because she speaks Chinese. It's a kind of rally for taking three refugees and the motto. So I brought her there. And after the talk, I asked her, what do you learn? She said, I learned, what did I Chinese say? 要修不要求 right? It's 要修不要求 Wow, I say very good, eh? One talk leader already, she can receive that essence. But anyway, not long after that, few months later, then one day, she suddenly coughing. And she is a person who very scared to see doctor one from young until she is 45. If she go and see doctor, she needs somebody to accompany her because she's very scared of the doctor, right? And in a working record, we hardly see any MC. She don't take MC, right? But on that occasion, she just, normal cough and flu. And then we told her, okay, you take rest. But anyway, 2 days down the line, she developed very fast track terminal illness. You never know because she still can speak. Right? So that night, she told me that she feels a bit on MC, a bit difficult to breathe. And so I thought because she got asthma, so I thought it's asthma. Then she said a bit like vomiting. So I thought she has what they call discomfort. The next morning, I sent her to the specialist, and I measured, and the doctor said her blood pressure dropped. The day before, blood pressure up. The day after, blood pressure dropped. So I needed. After connection, I still remember to remind her if the nurse come to check and give us the dose. But anyway, I have to go back to work before I kind of attend to more things for her. So Friday, Saturday morning, so 9 something, I did everything. I go back to the office, 11 o'clock, I received a call. So the doctor told me that they have transferred to ICU. I said, why? I said, I said, I didn't hear that she said hearting, but it's doing chest. And then after that, when I went, I still can talk to her. She's still like right? And she told me, oh, I feel very serious. So I said, don't worry, now in ICU. Doctor is taking care of, just rest. Right? But when I met the doctor at the door of the emergency ward, the doctor told me that she cannot last 24 hours. Right? But then, after seeing her, I came out, I tried to consult in my mind. What did the doctor mean, Don't you know now they come 24 hours. I mean, I'm still get talking, to her. But anyway, I also started to call my other colleague to inform. Yeah. That the doctor said that if you want to come and visit her, better come. Right? Second time I went in, look at her, she was resting. But then I came out again. So I cannot just, my mind cannot carry that this particular colleague is going to leave within 24 hours. And so then I started to break down and crying. Just couldn't conceive the idea she's going to die soon. Right? Although I would want to believe that the doctor is wrong, but since the doctor already diagnosed and know her condition, so then after that, I put myself again. Third time, I see the doctor and nurses rushing. Okay? And also, I went in. I see the doctor trying to resuscitate her. The nurse, everybody tried to, hold her. And I went in, and I rubbed her chest and said, just calm down, doctor is sending it to you. As I was talking to her, and the doctor was doing their part, then suddenly I see the white eyeball came up. Then I knew that probably that's the time. And I quickly just, because it's Chinese, more to Amitabha. So I said, quickly, Amitabha. Then the white ball just worked. And that's the end of the story. Right? So at that moment, my mind was thinking, what goes? What goes? So suddenly the word karma came into my mind. Then, what is saying? The thought, the speech, and the body action. This dream, because before that I don't understand much about this dream. I thought, when you read, they always talk about thought, the speech, and body action, very important. The action. So then at the moment I realized, what goes, all this suddenly no more thoughts, no more speech, no more body action. So what I am trying to also highlight to you all is like the Buddha always asks us to reflect every day. Right? And during the time of the Buddha actually asked one to say, how do they reflect on death? Because death can come anytime. Right? And so the different monks give you different ideas. So one monk say, "Oh, I reflect, today I will be alive, or tonight I will be alive, but tomorrow I will not be alive, right? Or today I will be alive, but tonight I may not, right? Or tonight I may be alive, but tomorrow daytime also gone, right?" So another monk say, "Oh, as I was eating, so this mouthful, this could be my last mouthful, right?" So that's a reflection about that. So another monk said, "Oh Lord, I can contemplate you this way. Now I breathe in, right? And I breathe out, then cannot breathe in again, then gone. Right? So I should breathe last and then cannot breathe in anymore. So that is that. Right? So the Buddha highlighted, even if you contemplate on today, I am alive and tomorrow I'm not, maybe. Yeah. That is not that contemplation yet. Right? Today I eat this small food. Now I eat small food. Maybe later I will not be able already. Also still not yet. The real contemplation about that is, now you breathe in and then you breathe out, right? Cannot breathe in anymore. Right? That is how that's to be seen. You breathe out, cannot breathe in anymore. And that is what that is all about. Right? So your breath, is of the utmost important. Right? In this way, when you do your practice on anapanasati, so we know that we are breathing 24 hours to be alive, but you just need one, that we cannot breathe in anymore, and that takes the life of the being. So, as we cultivate, we have to see the urgency for our practice. Right? And with that in mind, I think there will be more mindful. We won't have to think so much of ignorance. Right? We can establish more mindfulness. Because it can happen anytime. Right? Only one breath away. Right? So for cultivation, as we do our practice, like someone mentioned, how do we know about our mind? Is the easier way because of breath is a body formation. Right? So when you do the cultivation of anapanasati, then your clarity about that will be increased. And it's through this mindfulness on the breath, on the in breath and out breath, so that we have more and more clarity to understand the mind, right? And it can actually lead to deeper and deeper aspect of the mind that we can develop and also cultivate and insight into the mind. Right? So for cultivation, that's why the Buddha highlight a lot on the anapanasati. Right? So again, I would like to highlight the instruction is the Buddha mentioned about how we should see, how to establish mindfulness in front of us. When I say parimukha means in front of us, it doesn't mean fixed on somewhere. Right? Means you bring forth mindfulness. Right? You bring forth your clear knowing. Right? But how do we maintain that? You have the anchor. Right? So when I say anchor means it's on the breath. Right? On the in breath and out breath. So that's why you have the ana, apana, right? In breath and out breath. Right? So through this, then the mind, the scattered mind, or the mind which is very wild or agitated or whatever, then they will slowly, they will quiet down. So you must have the anchor. Like for example, like they say training a bull, right? So if you catch a bull in the wilderness, they are there running about doing what they like, right? Uh, uh, if you want to tame them, do you think it's easy? I see how people tame wild elephant, wild horse, or wild bull. The idea is that it's tameable, correct? But how to tame that? Interestingly, you see how they tame the wild animal is by first, when they catch them, then they will pair them with the tamer. Right? So same wise association. Right? But in this case, saying if you want to tame the mind, so the example is like a bull. So you when you get the bull back, so what do? You just bring them back like that, or call them back. Difficult, right? Even sometimes you call also in training, they will keep running, right? They don't even care. Just like a child, if untamed, you see some child, then now people label them this and that, ADHD, don't know what name. So they cannot sit still. So the mind, untamed mind, is like that. They cannot sit still. So when you want to train them, of course they will rebel, right? They won't want to sit still. So, but how to maintain them? We must tie them, right? Tie them to a pole. Yeah. So when you tie them to a pole, then even if they want to run around at the beginning, they will pull and pull and pull. Right? So after some time, they will get tired. And if your pole is strong, if your pole is not strong, what happens? The pole is just like anak on sati. So if your clear line is not strong on the pole, then once they pull, what happens? The pole also shall and the pole also pull out, and then the pole run away again. Right? So this is where I say that you're anchoring the mind, you must have a pole. So that pole is your sorry, mindfulness on the healing method of brain. Right? So you keep holding to that pole, isn't it? Continue with that knowing continuously. And then the bull will settle. If you don't, then the bull will run away again. Right? And this is where also you have to know. Sometimes you may use certain other way, but it may not be the correct way. Let's say you say, okay, I bring back the bull, I make a paga there, so the bull cannot run out. But the bull within the paga still can go around, right? And it's quite strong one, And when the fella don't like, they can just rush and then pull down the fence. So that may not be the correct method. The method is you tie them on the pool, right? So that whenever they pull, then they will still be right here, there, and at the end they will get tight. Then they will quiet now, right? But your pull must be strong. So a lot of time we try to entertain or try to address all the issues, but here we don't. We just go straight, right? Go straight to what? So come to your clear knowing on your breath. That's all. You do your duty well on this. The rest will quiet down by themselves. Yeah? Some people they try to address others. The lesson is a defilement come up. They try to address the defilement. That's not correct. So just come back to the ball. Yeah, back to your anapanasati. In clear knowing, in breath and aura. When you keep doing this continuously, then the rest they will subside. Right? They will subside. So you don't have to force to suppress them. Yeah, you just have to keep doing it. Yeah, clear mindfulness and continue to apply your knowing then. Right? Then the rest of the deformance will slowly come down. So we say subside, not suppression. So if let's say thoughts come, everything comes, you try to like crush it, you try to sometimes you just feel very drained because it's like fighting. But this is not. Yeah. You just come back to your breath, right? To your knowing, and then you will see those deformers, agitation will slowly subside. Just example, like when I see it, if the mind is like a muddy water, right? So when mind not clear, it's like muddy water. So when the mind is like muddy water, how do you let the water become clear? What do? Do you do anything? Do you stir it? You don't stir it, right? The moment you stir it, it becomes worse, right? So the principle is same. When it comes to your anapanasati, you just apply your knowing that. Then gradually, then the muddy things will settle, and then clear water will come. So if you can consistently apply your knowing that, then all the muddiness will subside. Then your mind becomes clear. Right? So this is the way how we help our mind to calm down and to purify. You don't have to go and stir the water. Right? It just have to be calm, relax, and then apply your knowing there, your mindfulness there, then where by mindfulness on the in-breath and out-breath. Then they will start to subside. Right? So this is important to remember and important to practice. So then only we will see how the mind can quietly purify. Okay? So for today, so that's why it's important for you just to know the urgency of practice and keeping your mind focused on this journey, and also knowing how you tame the mind, by using the unconscious. Okay? So the application of the knowing, right? And another important things that Ariya mentioned earlier also, as you want to enter into this knowing, remember to always relax. Relax body, relax the mind, and then the mind will get into the state of knowing. So when the mind gets into the state of knowing, then you maintain that continuously. Okay? So application must be there. Without application, we say ignorance will come in. Forgetfulness will come in. Means you lost your mindfulness. You lost your mind. When you don't know what happened, the mind will transform on the influx of defiance. But when you have mindfulness on the in-breath and out-breath, then there's no opportunity for influx of defiance. Because the mind is in check, mindful. No other things can come in. That is quality of the mind. Right? So we just have to do that again and again and again. So we retrain the mind to have that skill, to do that. So next time your mind is very clean, nothing comes and disturb you. Right? Most of the time, because of our own defiance, we think that other people cause a lot of trouble to us, make us angry, make us unhappy, or it's not. It's our own unhappy. So to summarize it, let's say that is it ill-patched roof? Then water cannot come in, right? Or water can come in. Ill-patched roof. Kampung-kampung, they use daun to do the roof. So if the roof, those leaves, if you don't know how to catch it properly, then of course when rainy will happen, water will come in. So same one, if the mind is not trained, so what will come in? A lot of defilements will come in. Right? But well, that's truth. Then all very neatly, tightly, so then no water can come in. Right? Imagine here got leaking. What will happen to you? Can you imagine comfortably? No need water here, just maybe leaking there. Doesn't kena siapa-siapa. Tapi would you have peace? One day. Same. So in our mind, any part is leaking, then the farmers is going to sink in and cause you trouble. Why? We say, imagine if even very little water that comes in. Let's say, at the end, let's say you drink on the floor or on the pool. In the long run, what will happen to this house? The pool can collapse. Even the little water, day by day, day by day, day by day. So therefore, when you apply mindfulness, you have to close all this thing. If you don't apply mindfulness all the time, we may look like healthy outside, but inside often. See, so that when keeping the mind mindful is so important. You just have to understand when you're not mindful, you are ignorant. I still don't understand that. So you can ask yourself 24 hours, how much time are we mindful? Most of the time not mindful, right? So how long the samsara cycle of the journey? So I just have to know, if I'm not mindful, then already ignorant, singing. What causes ignorance? So apply, keep applying, right? Because that is the only way for freedom from the samsara cycle. That is the starting point, mindfulness. Right? So you learn to cultivate again and again and again and again. Right? Until the mind get into that habit. Hopefully after the habit, then they get to the maturity and fruition. Right? So now we have to retrain old habit, not good one, what we do? Delete. Yeah? I would remind, delete already, don't put in the bin. In the bin also, clear. Because of health, then it really take out the away all the bad habits. Right? So bad habits, you really have to kneel until, because if not, no matter how small, the Buddha say, don't underestimate small little fault, because that can actually burn down the house. Right? It's being small fire, right? No problem, right? But small fire can burn down the whole forest. Don't underestimate defilements, no matter how small. So that's why I highlight this afternoon. Your sila is very important. That's it. No leaky, small form. Just do it, right? And then practice it, right? And I think that will be very helpful. So now 9:30. So the example maybe I will share you all some other days. But I think today is enough for you to know about what is your body, about your mind, how you take care for your cultivation, and also the urgency of keeping your mind consistently in mindfulness. So from here, like I said, from the sitting on the Anapanasati, standing, walking, and after this, lying down, right? So the extension of foundation of mindfulness continue. Yeah, from first the anapanasati, and mindful of your in-breath and out-breath, your clear knowing. And then next one is to the full posture. Full posture. Full posture is extension from sitting to standing to walking, and then lying down. Right? So tomorrow you wake up, and then again sitting up, then standing, walking. So you put your mindfulness continuously. That is no time for unmindfulness. We just have to apply, make effort. Yeah. Arouse the energy for that mindfulness.